The Fallout universe is filled with strange creatures, forgotten technologies, and mysteries left behind after the Great War. But few are as unusual as the Zetans, an extraterrestrial species that's been quietly observing humanity for centuries. Their presence stretches back long before the bombs fell, and even after civilization collapsed, they continue to watch from the shadows. They have abducted humans, recovered advanced technology, and conducted countless experiments, yet their true purpose remains one of Fallout's greatest mysteries. Are they simply scientists studying another world, or is there a far greater reason behind their interest in humanity? In this video, we'll examine everything we know about the Zetans and their history, their technology, their encounters with humanity, and the theories surrounding their role in the Fallout universe. The first hints that humanity wasn't alone in the Fallout universe come long before the Zetans become a major part of the series' lore. In the original Fallout games, alien encounters were presented as rare, hidden events, more like Easter eggs than pieces of the main story. At the time, they weren't meant to suggest a larger narrative, but they quietly introduced the idea that extraterrestrial life existed within the Fallout universe. In the original Fallout, players could encounter references to strange flying objects, unexplained phenomena, teasing the possibility of alien visitors without directly revealing them. These encounters were brief and intentionally mysterious, leaving more questions than answers. It wasn't until Fallout 2 that players found the series' final, unmistakable evidence of extraterrestrial life. Hidden in the wasteland was the wreckage of a crashed UFO. Scattered around the crash site were the remains of alien occupants, and nearby lay one of the game's most iconic secret weapons, the Alien Blaster. Far more advanced than anything produced on Earth, the weapon served as an undeniable proof that an intelligent alien civilization existed somewhere beyond the stars. Although these encounters were originally treated as humorous Easter eggs rather than main story elements, they established an important piece of Fallout's world building. Humanity was not alone in the universe. Years later, Bethesda would expand on these small mysteries, transforming them into one of the franchise's most enduring and unexplained pieces of lore. Although much of the Zetans' history remains unknown, evidence found throughout the series suggests they have been visiting Earth long before the Great War of 2077. Exactly when they first arrived is never revealed, but their continued presence indicates they had been observing humanity for an extended period. The closest evidence comes from Fallout 3's Mothership Zeta expansion. Aboard the ship are human captives from many different periods of history, including pre-war civilization, soldiers, and even individuals who appear to have been abducted centuries before the events of the Fallout series. This suggests the Zetans have been monitoring human civilization across multiple generations, rather than arriving after the nuclear apocalypse. Their interest in humanity appears to extend beyond simple observation. Throughout the Mothership, player can find evidence of biological research, recovered human technology, and carefully preserved artifacts from Earth. Whether they are studying human behavior, documenting our history, or researching our technological progress remains unclear. Their own technology was also far beyond anything humanity had achieved. The Zetans possessed faster-than-light space travel, directed energy weapons, teleportation systems, and advanced robotics, and technology capable of preserving living specimens for decades. Even before the Great War, they were operating on a level that made humanity's greatest scientific achievement seem primitive by comparison. Despite everything we've learned, two questions remain unanswered. Why did the Zetans choose Earth? And what were they hoping to gain from centuries of observation? Bethesda has never provided a definitive answer, leaving their true mission open to speculation. By the time the Great War began on October 23, 2077, the Zetans had almost certainly been observing Earth for years, if not centuries. Their advanced spacecraft, repeated abductions, collection of human specimens, all suggest that humanity had been a long subject for their research. What remains unclear is how much they knew about the conflict and what was about to unfold. Given the extent of their surveillance, it's possible they witnessed the growing tensions between the United States and China, and may have recognized their nuclear war was becoming increasingly likely. However, there is no evidence to suggest that they warned humanity or attempted to intervene. This has led to one of the most debated theories in Fallout lore. Did the Zetans have any role to play in the Great War? Despite years of speculation, there is no confirmed canon evidence that they caused or influenced the nuclear exchange. While their presence before the war is well established, linking them directly to the destruction of civilization remains purely speculative. Another possibility is that the Zetans simply took advantage of humanity's downfall. The collapse of civilization would have left the planet far easier to study, with weakened governments, scattered populations, and little chance of organized resistance. If their mission was to observe or experiment on humanity, the aftermath of the Great War may have proved opportunities that simply didn't exist before. Whether they foresaw humanity's destruction or merely continued their research after it occurred, one fact remains unchanged. The Zetans were watching before the bombs fell, and they continued watching long after the world had turned to ash. While earlier Fallout games hinted at the existence of extraterrestrial life, Fallout 3 was the first to firmly establish the aliens as canon. Hidden within the capital wasteland is a small but significant encounter that leaves little room for doubt. Following a strange explosion in the night sky, players can discover the wreckage of a crashed UFO. Scattered around the impact site are the bodies of its alien crew, confirming that at least one extraterrestrial spacecraft had made its way to Earth. Along the debris lies one of the game's most iconic secret weapons, the Alien Blaster. Unlike conventional energy weapons, it fires powerful bolts using alien power cells, showcasing technology far beyond anything developed by pre-war humanity. Although the crash site is relatively small, it raises several important questions. Where was the spacecraft headed? What caused it to crash? Was it operating alone? Or was it part of a much larger presence already watching Earth? At that time, these questions went unanswered. However, players wouldn't have to wait long for the truth. With the release of the Mothership Zeta, Bethesda expanded this brief encounter into a full story, revealing that the crashed UFO was only a tiny glimpse of the much larger alien operation hidden beyond Earth's atmosphere. While the crashed UFO in Fallout 3 confirmed the extraterrestrial life existed, it was the Mothership Zeta expansion that revealed just how extensive the Zetan presence on Earth truly was. After investigating a mysterious alien distress signal, the lone wanderer is abducted and taken aboard an enormous spacecraft, orbiting high above the planet. As the player explores the ship, it becomes clear the Zetans have been abducting humans for longer than anyone could ever imagine. Among the captives are people taken from different points throughout history, including pre-war civilians, soldiers, and individuals who appear to have lived centuries before the Great War. Some have only recently been captured, while others have spent years or even decades aboard the vessel. Together, they provide a compelling evidence that Zetans had been studying humanity across multiple generations. Throughout the mothership are laboratories and holding cells filled with signs of experimentation. Human captives are subject to testing, biological research, while specimens from Earth are carefully preserved for further study. The exact purpose of these experiments is never explained, leaving it unclear whether the Zetans are conducting scientific research, gathering intelligence, or pursuing another objective entirely. The mothership itself showcases technology unlike anything elsewhere in the Fallout universe. Its immense size dwarfs any human spacecraft, and it is equipped with advanced energy weapons, teleportation systems, robotic drones, force fields, and faster-than-light travel capabilities. Even the most advanced pre-war technologies pale in comparison to what the Zetans have achieved. Refusing to remain a prisoner, the lone wanderer joins forces with several of the ship's captives and fight their way through the vessel. Along the way, they sabotage key systems, battle alien forces, and eventually seize control of parts of the mothership. In the expansion's climax, the stolen alien weapons are turned against another Zetan vessel, destroying it in orbit and allowing the survivors to secure the mothership for themselves. Although the lone wanderer escapes captivity, Mothership Zeta answers surprisingly few questions surrounding the Zetans. Instead, it reveals just how vast and mysterious their operation truly is, leaving players with an even greater sense of how little is known about the alien civilization watching Earth. Although the events of Mothership Zeta seem to mark humanity's largest confrontation with the Zetans, Fallout 4 makes it clear that their presence on Earth did not end there. While exploring the Commonwealth, the sole survivor can witness a strange object striking across the night sky before crashing somewhere in the wilderness west of Boston.
This is like this even exists. Oh God.
Following the trail of burning debris leads the wreckage of another alien spacecraft, proving that extraterrestrial visitors are still active nearly 210 years after the Great War. Nearby, players can follow a trail of glowing green blood to a small cave, where the ship's surviving pilot has taken refuge. Cornered and wounded, the alien attacks anyone who approaches. Defeating it rewards the player with the alien blaster, once again demonstrating the Zetan technology remains far beyond anything humanity has been able to produce. Unlike the events of Mothership Zeta, this encounter offers very few answers. The game never explains why the spacecraft crashed, what missions the pilot was carrying out, or whether the Zetans were operating nearby. Instead, it serves as another reminder that the aliens continued to visit Earth long after the civilization's collapse. While brief, this encounter reinforces an important point. The Zetans have never truly left, whether they are monitoring humanity, conducting research, or carrying out a mission that remains beyond our understanding. Their continued appearance suggests that Earth's story is far from over. Fallout 76 expands the Zetan presence more than any game since Mothership Zeta, showing that alien activity wasn't limited to the capital wasteland or the Commonwealth. Instead, Appalachia appears to have become another location of interest for the extraterrestrial visitors. Throughout the game, players can discover alien-related random encounters, recover alien blasters and alien ammunition, and find evidence suggesting that the Zetans have continued to operate on Earth in secret. These encounters reinforce the idea that alien sightings are not isolated incidents, but part of a much broader pattern spanning the Fallout universe. This theme was explored further in the Invaders from Beyond seasonal event. During these invasions, fleets of Zetan spacecraft descended upon Appalachia, deploying waves of alien troops alongside advanced robotic drones. Players must defend key locations from the attacks while recovering pieces of Zetan technology left behind after the battles. Though the event introduces the largest organized alien assault seen in the series, it leaves many questions unanswered. Bethesda never explains why the Zetans launched these attacks, what they hoped to accomplish, or whether the invasion represented a major offensive or a small detachment of a much larger force. Outside of Fallout 76, references to extraterrestrial life continue to appear throughout the series. Crashed UFOs, alien blasters, unexplained sightings, and other hidden encounters all point to the same conclusion. The Zetans have been quietly operating in the background of Fallout's history for centuries. While each appearance reveals a little more about their technology and activities, their true purpose remains as mysterious as ever. The Zetans have appeared throughout the Fallout series for decades, yet they remain one of its greatest mysteries. From hidden Easter eggs in the classic games, to the events of Mothership Zeta, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76, each encounter has revealed another piece of the puzzle, without ever providing a complete picture. Unlike factions such as the Brotherhood of Steel, the Enclave, or the Institute, the Zetans have no interest in ruling the wasteland or rebuilding civilization. Instead, they operate from the shadows, silently observing humanity, abducting individuals, collecting technology, and conducting experiments. Whether they are explorers documenting an alien world, scientists studying a developing civilization, or agents of a much larger agenda remains unknown. Bethesda has deliberately kept their motives ambiguous, ensuring that every new encounter raises more questions than it does answers. For now, the Zetans remain one of Fallout's most enduring mysteries, a silent presence watching humanity long before the Great War, surviving long after it, and perhaps still carrying out missions that no one on Earth has yet begun to understand.